Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about some crucial and critical information that you should hear and pay attention to before you go out and buy a car, okay? So you should definitely watch this before you buy a car. Do not buy a car until you watch this video. I'm gonna tell you two simple questions to ask yourself, and I'll give you some tips on how to answer those questions. And if you can get through these two questions while being honest with yourself, well, guess what? You'll be in a good position to actually buy that car that you're thinking about buying. Here are the two questions. Question number one, can you really afford it? Question number two, why are you buying this specific car? Okay, so let's go over question number one, because I think that this is the most crucial question, and most people will fail this question by my standards and by the financial standards that are kind of set out by the average person, simply because most people actually buy a car that they can't truly afford. Now, as a general rule of thumb, and I'm not like, if you've broke this rule, I'm not saying that you did a bad thing. All I'm saying is that you broke this rule. As a general rule of thumb, you should spend about 1/3 of your income on your car, meaning the car that you're buying should be worth about a third of your income or less. If you have an income of $90,000, and that's pre-tax income, pre-deduction income. If your income is $90,000 a year, the car that you're buying should cost you no more than $30,000 brand new. I say this brand new part because a lot of people try and get around the rule by saying, well, I make $90,000 a year per se, and I want to get a car that's $50,000. It's worth 50 grand, but I'll get it used and it's going to cost me 30 grand. So I'm still following the rule. But no, you're not, because the gas on that car is going to be equivalent to the gas on the $50,000 car. The maintenance is going to be equivalent to the maintenance on a $50,000 car. The insurance is going to be equivalent to the insurance on a $50,000 car. So if you're buying a car used, you can't just, you can't get a $50,000 car and a third of your income is $30,000 and go with a $30,000 option. You got to meet somewhere in between. If you're buying a car used, maybe you can go, instead of a $30,000 car, you can go to a $40,000 car new, but you're getting it for $25,000, let's say, used, okay? Hopefully that's not too confusing, but to sum it up, can you really afford it? You got to look at, the value of your car when it's brand new should be about a third of your income or less. That's a good rule of thumb. That means that if you have a mortgage, you pay rent, you have other expenses, you probably should be able to afford the payments on that car. But also, you have to take into account any upgrades that you're going to do to the car, any maintenance, any repairs, any gas, any insurance, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So can you really afford it? I'll tell you right now, I look around as I'm driving. The number of $50,000 cars that I see is insane. Now, according to my rules, right? A $50,000 car, if you're driving it, you should be making about $150,000 a year, okay? And I can say that I see this many $50,000 cars. There's this many $150,000 a year earners that I in general. So it's an imbalance, and I don't want you to be struggling financially. So listen, you can buy whatever car you want to. It's as simple as that. But follow my rule, and you'll be financially okay. Save your money. Maybe you can buy that $50,000 car later in life, right? And there are other factors. If you're retired, if you've paid off your mortgage, blah, 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 you don't have any rent payments or mortgage payments, then you can spend a bit more than a third. But as a rule of thumb, it's 1/3, okay? Moving forward to the second question. Why are you buying this specific car? Is it because you like it? Is it because it's your dream car and you saved for it and this is what you want to buy? Is it because you love cars in general and that's why you want to buy that car with 400 horsepower? I want a car with 400 horsepower. I know I'm never going to use it, the 400 horsepower, but I do want a car with that much horsepower because I love cars. Or is it because you want to show off, okay? So when you realize why you're buying this specific car, you'll be better able to make an educated decision. If you're buying this car to show off, don't. I'll tell you why. When that car gets old, most likely, there's a phrase that goes something along the lines of this. You don't want to buy a $500 bag and have $0 in it. Instead, buy a $100 bag and keep $400 in it. Meaning, don't maximize your budget just to show off. Because you're going to have this car in 10, 15 years, you're probably going to sell it for next to nothing, and you're going to be left with zero. You broke your budget to buy this car to show off, and In 15 years, you're going to be back at square one. You're not going to have anything to show for it. Now, I know you probably get the theme of this video. The theme of this video is don't buy a car that you really can't afford, and especially don't buy one that you can't afford just to show off. If you want to go out there and afford that $50,000 car, that $80,000 car, go for it. But make sure that you are working hard to earn that money to be able to afford it. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm filming this video. I'm going to release it in a while from now. So I don't know if by the time you see this video, I will have actually gotten this next vehicle. Now, the next vehicle that I'm going to get is a family vehicle. Okay, I'm not going to reveal what I'm planning on it. I asked for suggestions in a previous video, but I'm planning on getting a big SUV. I'm not going to reveal the details. The highest trim level, family vehicle, massive 7-seater SUV. The biggest SUV that this manufacturer makes. I want your guesses down below. I'm not going to tell you the price because that's going to give it away, but I will tell you that it will follow my 1/3 rule. Meaning when you see the car that I get, my next vehicle, you can multiply that by 3, and that's the minimum that my income will be at that given moment because it'll be worth 1/3 of my income. Would I have got that car 5 years ago? No, because my income wasn't at that level. Will I get that car in basically a year to year and a half? Yes, okay? But leave your guesses down below as a comment, okay? I'm gonna say the hints again. Big, huge, it's like massive, this SUV. It's in the higher price range. You know, you look at it's higher than the average cost of an SUV, okay? 7-seater, and it's the biggest SUV that this manufacturer offers, okay? There is an engine option in the highest trim level that gives you more than 400 horsepower. And I know, like I said, I'm never going to use 400 horsepower. My wife's like, why do we need 400? And so around 420 horsepower. Why? And I said, just because I love the sound of it. Okay? So those are the only hints I'm giving you. Give me your guess as a comment down below. I want to see if anyone can guess it. I give you a lot of hints. If you know cars, you'll probably be able to guess it. But make sure that before you buy a car, you're asking yourself these 2 main big questions. Can I actually afford it? Be honest with yourself, man. I don't mean to say man, like be honest with yourself. Person, just be honest, okay? If you can't afford it, don't buy it. It's as simple as that. Question number 2, why are you buying this specific car? Okay, if you want to buy this car because it's your dream car, you've saved for it, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that, but ask yourself that question. Are you buying it to support your family, to make room for your kids' hockey equipment and blah, blah, blah? Go for it, but just ask yourself those questions. That's it. Please don't buy a car until you've watched this video and until you've asked yourself these 2 bigger questions and answered them honestly. And drop a comment down below letting me know what your guesses are for my next vehicle. The next vehicle, another hint, will be replacing this car that I'm driving right now. This is a 2010 Mazda 3. It was my wife's car. It is still our family car that we both have, but we're going to be replacing this in the near future. So let me know. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.